Okay, so what we're going to do here now is in this video, we're going to try and graph a parabola that is given in standard form. Okay, now with graphing, there are certain things that we need to know. So, for example, we need to know the end behavior of the function. In case of a parabola, we need to find the vertex, right? We know how to find the intercepts, so we need to find the x and the y-intercepts. So all of this information will help us graph the parabola better, okay? So we could say, first thing you want to do here is figure out what the vertex is. What is your vertex? What is your axis symmetry? Okay, so let's go ahead and find that. So I have my function, I have fx equals negative 3 x plus 2 squared plus 12. Right, if I compare that with f of x equals a x minus h squared plus k, right, what do I see? I see that a equal to negative 3, h, right, h would equal negative 2 because it's a minus h, so I would have negative h equals 2, so h would equal negative 2, and then k would equal 12. So for this vertex, first of all, I see that a is negative 3, so since a is less than 0, the parabola opens down. Okay. Now, my vertex is going to be the point hk, which is negative 2, comma 12. Okay, and my axis of symmetry, or my axis of the parabola, is x equals negative 2. Okay, now step 2. Find the intercepts. So obviously we have two kinds of intercepts. We have the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and find the y-intercept first. Okay, and to find the y-intercept, we would set x equal to 0. So in that case, we would get f of 0 equals negative 3, 0 plus 2 squared plus 12, and that would become negative 3 times 4 plus 12, which is negative 12 plus 12, which is 0. So my y-intercept, is going to be 0, 0. Now note that that could also be one of my x-intercepts because the y-coordinate is also 0. So let's go ahead and figure out what the x-intercept is. So my x-intercept I'm going to set y equal to 0. So basically, I'm setting my function equal to 0, right? And I'm going to set all of that equal to 0. So if you solve this, first I have to subtract the 12 on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to get negative 3 x plus 2 squared equals negative 12. Go ahead and divide by negative 3. So I would get x plus 2 squared equals 4. So if I take the square root on both sides, I'm going to get square root of x plus 2 squared is plus or minus square root of 4. Remember, don't forget the plus or minus. It has to be plus or minus. And so then I get x plus 2 equals plus or minus 2, which means x plus 2 equals 2, or x plus 2 equals negative 2. If I subtract the 2, I get x equal to 0, or x equals negative 4. So in this case, my x-intercepts are 0, 0, and negative 4, 0. Okay. So now the final step is to graph. But before I go ahead and graph, take a look at this information first. Okay, and then the final step is we're going to graph. So step 3 is graph the parabola. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw my set of axes here. Okay, and so I have, let's take this by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's my y-axis. That's my origin here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have -1, -2, -3, and -4. Once we get that, let's go ahead and plot all the points that we know. We know what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is 0, 0. That also makes it the x-intercept. The other x-intercept we have is -4, 0. And then what we have is a vertex, and a vertex was -2, 12. So that would be somewhere around here. Right? And then go ahead and join these points using a smooth curve. And your parabola would look something like this. Again, like I said, since a was negative, this is going to open down. And then your line x equals -2 is your axis of symmetry, which means the parabola is symmetric about that line. Here's your vertex and your x and y intercepts.